שלא ייגמר לעולם. החול והים, רישוש של המים, ורק השמיים, תפילת האדם. החול והים, רישוש של המים, ורק השמיים, תפילת האדם. English. Oh Lord, my God, join in. I pray that these things never end. The sand and the sea, the rush of the waters, the crash of the heavens, the prayer of man, the sand and the sea, the rush of the waters, crash of the heavens, the prayer of men. Let's have our readings, please. Go.
Dan Fitzgerald, remembering again. Numbers grow faint on withering arms. Old railroad tracks dissolve in rust. Flowers bloom where only shadows grew. Blue sky and wind drive away the smoke from long ago burnings. Pictures fade, blackened bricks crumble with the rain. Words become just slogans, written on abandoned alley walls. Then again, faces disappear, nameless into dark, deep basements. Tombstones are broken and scattered on sacred ground. The whiffs of gas and smoke drift on the passing wind, stirring memories that should have never been forgotten. Old voices begin to speak. Oh yes, remember us again.
Father, Adonai, Creator, who set the round course of the world, birth, death, and disease. Father, who caused veins, brains, and bones to grow, who fashioned us air that we might breathe and sing. Remember that we are incomplete, inconsolable, our vision clouded by ashes. Remember the chimneys, the ingenious habitations of death, where part of Israel's body drifted as smoke through the air. Remember the mutilated music of their lives. We lament in the fields of loneliness for 6 million of our number torn away. Remember them. There are some who have no memorial. They are perished as though they had never been. Forget them not. Remember the landscape of screams, engraved the entrance gates to death. Remember the unborn dreams. Remember the terror of children whose tears were burned. Remember the agony of parent whose blessings were consumed. Remember the prayers of the dying, the shame and the suffering of the innocent. Remember.
To open eyes when others close them, to hear what others do not wish to listen, to look when others turn away, to seek to understand when others give up, to rouse oneself when others accept, to continue the struggle even when one is not the strongest, to cry out when others keep silent. To be a Jew, it is that. It is first of all that, and further, to live when others are dead, and to remember when others are forgotten.
I stand here now, 50 years behind me, davening mincha, when suddenly it seems the words are caught in my throat. Ashrei Ashrei v'techa, Ashrei ha'am shekach lo. Fortunate are those who dwell in your house. Fortunate is the nation that such is to him. Fortunate is the nation that such is to him. A nation who is brought to the slaughter by Nazi hands. A nation who is denigrated, despised, and tortured. A nation whose worldly possessions were all plundered. Clothes, shoes, accessories, piles and piles of them in this terrible place. A nation whose blood cries out from the very earth for many hundreds of years, and even when in his own land he is never left in peace. There too they chase him. In his home his children are kidnapped. Fortunate is the nation that such is to him. There's only one answer. It keeps returning to me. Ashrei ha'am she Hashem elokuv. Fortunate is the nation whose God is the Almighty. We need strong faith to pick up our heads, to continue on, to feel the pain, to cry, and to continue on, to remember the 6 million, and to continue on, because that's the only way.
אני מאמין באמונה שלמה, בביאת המשיח, ואף על פי שיתמהמה, עם כל זה אני מאמין, עם כל זה אחכה לו בכל יום שיבוא. I believe with perfect faith in the coming of the Messiah, and although he may tarry, I will wait daily for his coming.
Eli, Eli, shelo yigamer leolam, hachol v'hayam, rishrush shel hamayim, berak hashamayim, tefilat ha'adam. O Lord my God, I pray that these things never end. The sand and the sea, the rush of the water, the crash of the heavens, the prayer of man.
How do we stand here when this happened? How do we react standing on a place that 865,000 Jews were murdered? What is our response as Jews? There are many answers to this. First and foremost being that we are here, we are standing and we are witness. We are young, we are the next generation, with hope in our eyes, with power in our arms, and with motivation in our veins to continue what was attempted to have been destroyed. But in about 8 weeks from now, most of us will be in synagogue. It will be Rosh Hashanah. And when you go to Rosh Hashanah morning, like most of us will, you'll be assailed by various sounds. The most important Jewish sound, perhaps, is what you'll hear in Rosh Hashanah. And then, 10 days later, you'll stand at the end of Yom Kippur, and like all Jews, you will shout 7 times as the last seconds of Yom Kippur comes out. You shout the words Adonai Hu Elohim. We're going to do a slight version of that. What I want to do is I'm going to blow the shofar now. When I finish, you're not going to shout out 7 times Adonai Hu Elohim. You're going to shout out instead Am Yisrael Chai. I want to hear you echoing this graveyard. Shout it with all of your might. I want to hear 7 times in unison Am Yisrael Chai when the last note blows out of the Tkiya Gedola. And with that we will end our Tekes. But give it a second. Allow yourself to be wowed. Allow your senses to be hit at what you're about to do. You're proclaiming with the loudest voice possible that the screams here are being overtaken by our sounds of Judaism and our sounds of resilience and our sounds of Am Yisrael Chai. תודה. תם הטקס.